Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining. My name is Pelin Pekkun, and I'm a professor of analytics and department chair at Wake Forest University. Today, I'm excited to present our recent research on reducing food waste in U.S. food banks, which is joint work with my collaborators, Fan Zhou from Penn State University and Love Sharma and Sanjay Hira from the University of South Carolina. The United States has a high level of food insecurity, with an estimated 1 in 8 individuals struggling with hunger and lack of consistent access to enough food for an active, healthy life. However, this is not because of a lack of food supply. In fact, we have more than enough food to feed everyone, but just waste too much of it. Specifically, up to 40% of the food in the US goes uneaten, which corresponds to more than 400 pounds of food per person annually. This is where food banks can play an important role. Feeding America is the largest domestic hunger relief charity in the United States, consisting of a network of 200 food banks with a mission to address the food insecurity issue by matching the supply of surplus food with the demand of the food insecure population. Thus, food banks act as centers for the distribution or redistribution of donated and surplus foods that would otherwise be wasted. However, food banks face unique challenges. A significant proportion of the total food supply comes from in-kind donations from retailers, manufacturers, and local farms. Unfortunately, in-kind donations are inherently uncertain. It is hard for a food bank to predict when and how much food will be donated. Additionally, in-kind donations are typically perishable. This creates the challenge for food banks to quickly take possession of the food and distribute it before expiration. In addition, food is mainly distributed through multiple partner agencies, which have different capacities and capabilities and operate independently without much coordination. There's also limited infrastructure, such as a warehouse capacity and equipment and transportation resources. Such challenges can lead to a waste in the food received before distribution. Thus, our goal in this research was to identify key operational strategies that could help food banks better manage their in-kind donations and reduce the food waste in the process. To tackle these questions, we utilize econometric modeling using data from 200 US food banks and structured interviews with 19 food bank employees from 5 different food banks. So, what are the key findings? First, we see that food banks with a larger fleet of trucks and larger on-site emergency pantry observe lower levels of food waste as compared to those with a smaller fleet and smaller pantry, respectively. A direct distribution strategy can also help reduce food waste. In particular, if a food bank can effectively utilize just-in-time strategy, where food is delivered directly from the food bank to the people in need, such as through the use of mobile pantries, it can reach people faster and reduce overall food waste. On the other hand, the impact of another direct distribution strategy, which is agency-empowered delivery, and this is where food banks coordinate the distribution of the donated food directly from the donors to the partner agencies, the effectiveness of this strategy might depend on the size of the network. Given that food banks already operate with limited resources, when a food bank tries to partner with too many agencies for empowered delivery, the loss of efficiency due to coordination challenges may dominate the gains in efficiency from direct delivery and result in increased food waste. Ending hunger and reducing food waste are both included in the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals and should be a top priority for policymakers. By bringing awareness to the food waste challenges faced by food banks, we hope that our findings can help food banks in prioritizing their operational decisions while also drawing the attention of policymakers and the public that reducing food waste and improving food access are not independent challenges. Before wrapping up, I'd like to take a moment to extend our gratitude to the department editor, Professor Chris Tang, and the entire review team for their constructive feedback and suggestions. We also want to thank our local food bank partners for their support through valuable insights as well as the access to the food bank dataset. And to all the food bank employees who participated in our interviews, which were instrumental to this work. Thank you so much for watching. If this topic piques your interest and you'd like to learn more, I encourage you to check out our full paper in the PALMS Journal. Please feel free to reach out if you have any questions or would like to discuss further. Thank you.